Hey guys, we're with a new video for a demo I played called Wasteland Travelers. So this game, or this demo took me about 3 to almost 4 hours to play it. So I just want to get into it real quick and just show off what I like. So basically you start off basically in this bullet fight. Our character right there is in the middle, uh, um, next to the overturned Humvee being shot at by, I'm guessing, raiders or some sort of bad guy. So basically, this is a zombie scavenger game. But basically, what you got to do is outlined on the side of this paper right here, this little book we got. So let's go ahead and look at those real quick. So jackals surrounded the hotel. Surrounded the hotel. There won't be any reinforcements coming. So that is like the main things. I'm assuming the people are shooting out for the jackals. But basically, we gotta find some gear, go to the medical area, find a tool to cut the lock on the operating room, kill the stalker, pass through the training area and obtain the ID card to supply the warehouse door and to get the files. I don't know what is on these files, but the whole game is basically revolving around us getting into that warehouse and trying to get them. So this game really played like a looter shooter. So I basically went around and looted everything that I possibly could in the beginning, not realizing the main stats this game had, which was hunger, stamina, and I'm assuming the last one was radiation, because there's like little 3 bars under the, or there's, sorry, I say stamina as if it's not the little bar below the health, but thirst, hunger, and radiation, but radiation never really played a big stat thing for me to change. I don't know if that's just because this is the demo and not the full game at least. But I worried less about radiation and mainly just hunger and thirst, which drained really fast. I'm assuming since the more you use stamina, the more it goes down. I wasn't able to confirm that in this game, test play, but overall, I found some pretty decent guns. Well, there's a lot of different guns you can find just looting around everywhere. Because, again, this demo is like I wouldn't say to call it open world because you had a defined area you can go, but it was decently sized. So there was a lot of weapons and a lot of loot, and there's plenty of story to find within the demo itself besides the main thing, if you went around trying to find the journals that were in the game. So again, really the only type of enemy we've seen were zombies at the beginning. I don't know if that was really really was the main purpose. Well, not main purpose, but if it was you guys were able to tell that it was mainly zombies. But it didn't really say what happened to the world or why it's like this. It just said, hey, we have to find these files, and that's it. I'm hoping in the full release we're able to go into a lot more of the story, which obviously I think we are. So this was just, so right now in the background is just my main search of the first place they wanted you to go, which was the medical tent after you looted. And I didn't really find the first boss in this area that we were supposed to find to get the power cell. So I just sort of just looted around and kept looking. I'm gonna probably go ahead and speed this up till I get to the first boss fight because a lot of this is a walking simulator, but it was actually enjoyable. See, as I'm speaking, I found another gun, which is I think the SKS, which is great for because a bunch of the time I was one-shotting zombies with the suppressor because the suppressor was overpowered in this game. So yeah, let me just cut ahead to the first boss fight. So the first little boss fight I try to go against, and I say try for a very big reason because this one took me a good amount of time to defeat, and I can't say not because it was hard, because it was hard, but just because I was not thinking and I was very under equipped at the time with knowledge and just weapons at the time. So in the background, I'm going to show just all the deaths, and I died like 20 times to this guy, and it was so annoying. So I edited some of the deaths, but basically he's a giant gunner on the top of these shipping containers, and had like a few henchmen walking around, which really annoyed me because I would die with a big gunner, but the henchmen wouldn't. But another thing that was really annoying was how loud this guy was. I'm gonna just stop talking for a second and just play a clip of how loud he is. So after dying the first couple of times, I decided to go around and just continue looting some stuff to see if I could find any better loot. I went around the whole map like once, just circled around, looked for everything, see if there's any little nooks and crannies I didn't find before. And I found this really cool gun I have. This has like a wood stock. It's a semi-automatic rifle. And I went back to trying to do it to see if this time I could actually pass it. But as I start, I threw a flashbang right there just to try to loot it, and I did die again. But a great thing I did not do was save before I started with all my new loot. So about an hour of gameplay I didn't save. I played for an hour and then was just like, oh, let's just not save before I die, and then had to go back to just using the shotgun. And a little bit after, you can see I got my guns back and everything, I did go back and get all my stuff. And this is actually the point I defeated the boss, because I played smart about this. So I basically had to stay between cover and take out all those little minions first every time you had to reload. And I tried to shoot him because I thought shooting him would be useful, but it wasn't working. So I had 2 extra grenades, and I decided to throw one right at him, and he was defeated. And I was able to get the key card that I needed to complete the demo. And I did get this really cool machine gun. It basically just is an LMG. After that, after getting this, I went around trying to figure out where the next point I was supposed to go was. So I made my way past the shooting range over to where, like, the cars, like the shipping depot would be. And I found the warehouse that we're supposed to do to get the files, and I couldn't really open it. And I realized one point as I was walking around the building, there's a little side hut, over here that actually needed to be powered to power the warehouse door. So as I went in there and found that out, I went out to try to find where the power cord was. So power core, not cord. So yeah, that was that. It's about to speed up, so we'll just jump ahead to where I found out where it is. Something fun I did find was I played a little bit of basketball. They had this little spot where you could shoot hoops, which was pretty cool. I didn't really make any shots, but yeah, that was a little cool thing to add into the little game, in the little demo. So I actually found right here is where the second boss of the demo is. I honestly think this was supposed to be the first one, because if you remember the list at the beginning of the video, it said to go through the medical area and cut open to the operating room, which was this room right here. Sorry, guys. So yeah, this was the second boss. He was actually not as hard as the first one. He shoots lasers and has like a lightsaber, basically. So I died a few times to each of his attacks. And then this run right here, I actually got a little smarter and was mainly moving around and just taking a few shots every time he appeared, because this guy liked to teleport away. Basically like vanish and reappear. So every time he appeared, I tried to take a shot on him a few times. So this machine gun I had made quick work of him. It took me about a minute or so. Yeah, a minute or so to defeat him. Mainly just had to keep dodging his lasers, which was his biggest challenge. So yeah, I don't know if he was like a robot or what he was. It just called him the Stalker, and I don't know why it called him a Stalker, because he wasn't really following me around in the demo at all. Which, I mean, if you're gonna call someone a Stalker, would have been better if he planted himself in like side of me every so often, as if he was actually stalking me. So here we go. I killed him, and I took the battery pack, power core, and we've just finally made our way to the can't think of the word, to the warehouse. So yeah, the warehouse is the final thing we actually have to do for the demo. So we're running over to it right now to install the parts. I did start running the wrong way, because the way the map is broken up is into like 4 sections. So the second he was in was like section 2. So yeah, we're at the warehouse. Zombie tried to run up on me in the back. Made quick work of him, and I shut the door so no other zombies would get me, and I installed the power cord. So once I did that, I just had to head around to the front of the warehouse and hopefully open it, which should have been super easy. But I was so wrong. I had this nice little alarm warning all the enemies where I was at, and that was fun. So I'm gonna I died 2-3 times. And yeah, I went ahead and sped it up a little bit. I'm gonna leave the alarm because if I had to hear it, there were so many. And then the final attempt I did, I found out a little cheeky little secret which I used. So if I turn it on and run over here to this little room, shut the door and just stay here and be quiet, not saying a word, not making a sound, I wait for the alarm to go off, and just get ready. I had less the zombies were in the area, but they weren't as many. So I take a suppressor and I slowly start killing them, trying to go for one-shot kills and making sure I'm fully loaded. So yeah, I made my way into the warehouse, trying to find the elevator I need to find. So it wasn't too bad after I waited for most of them to clear out. Got to the elevator and that was the demo. The game was really fun. I enjoyed it for the amount of time I spent playing it. So go wishlist it on Steam. I don't know when it's coming out. It says sometime in 2026, but we'll see. So once the game does fully come out, I will be buying it and having some fun. So until next video, guys, thank you.